Hey everyone, this is Medellin, once known as one of the most dangerous places in the world. And today, it's one of the most powerful stories of transformation. What used to be controlled by violence is now driven by art, community, and creativity. And today, we're walking straight through it. From hidden stories to street art, to escalators and a gondola built on a mountainside. More precisely, this is Comuna 13. After breakfast near the hotel, we headed towards Poblado metro station. That's where our Get Your Guide tour was starting. As always, we were walking with our cameras and gear. And even though Medellin has changed a lot, it's still smart to stay aware of your surroundings and keep an eye on your belongings. Once at the meeting point, we found our guide Natalia right on time. And even with all the movement and crowds around the station, everything felt very organized. Transit card? Really? That was my first internal reaction. When I received the card, I realized that this wasn't going to be a typical walking tour. And in an instant, it felt valuable. The amount that we paid booking the tour kind of came immediately back in our hands in the form of this Metro Pass. At that point, I realized we had signed up for an experience. One minute, we were in a busy metro hub, surrounded by the rush of the city. And after a few connections, the crowds thinned out and everything suddenly felt calmer. I do want to point out the smooth flow and organization of this metro system. As we made our first connection, we all noticed something really interesting. They had these organized funnel gates lining up people perfectly with the metro doors. And I couldn't help but think, why don't we have something like this back home in Montreal? It's not just about organization, it's part of the culture here. In Medellin, people actually line up, wait their turn, and respect the system. And we saw that firsthand. Having Natalia with us made a huge difference. Instead of stressing about the lines, the stops, and where to go next, we could actually relax and pay attention as she expressed the story behind where we were headed. And that story started with Medellin's transit system. The city is home to Colombia's only metro system, and it became internationally known for connecting hillside communities through its pioneering Metrocable network. Needless to say, the next part of this journey wasn't underground or on the street. It was in the air. And that's where the tour took another turn. Because our next connection wasn't a train or a bus, it was a gondola. One thing we didn't expect, Medellin is actually the only city in Colombia with a metro. And on top of that, they were one of the first to introduce cable cars as part of everyday public transportation. So this is a gondola, obviously, but not for the reasons you might think. Back home in Canada, we have places like Metrocable, Blue Mountain, and Whistler, where gondolas are all about leisure, skiing in the winter and hiking for the summer. But here in Medellin, it's completely different. This gondola ride isn't a tourist attraction. It's public transportation. It connects communities in the hills directly to the city. And before this existed, getting in and out of these neighborhoods wasn't easy. It made it much harder for people to access jobs, opportunities, and really move forward. But now something as simple as this ride can completely change someone's day and their future. Back home, a gondola is something we do for fun. But here, it's a lifeline. While we were up here, our guide Natalia shared some stories about Medellin's past. And honestly, it wasn't really easy to hear. This city went through a very difficult time. But what makes it so powerful is what it's become today. You don't need to hear every detail to understand this place has come a long way. Stay with us, because this is where things get really interesting. After taking it all in from above, we started making our way back down. Seeing the city from this perspective gave us a completely different understanding of how everything connects. But the tour didn't stop here. Next, we hopped on a local bus, and this part felt very different. The metro is one thing, but being on the bus, driving through the streets, we really started to feel the rhythm of this city. The traffic, movement, the energy. It's not something we actually do when we visit a new city. But with our guide, it felt easy and actually became part of the experience. Just when we thought we knew what this tour was about, there was another surprise waiting for us. Natalia brought us to a local coffee spot, which quickly turned into a mini coffee experience. Honestly, I had completely forgotten about this part until I went back through the footage. Up to this point, Ellie and I had coffee experiences in Brazil, in various specialty coffee shops, and even at a coffee plantation. So it was really cool to experience the Colombian coffee culture. What looks like a small detail actually made our tour feel more complete. It was great to taste the coffee while listening to the short coffee lesson. And if you're into coffee, we've got a few videos exploring coffee culture around the world. Check them out if that's your thing. After that unexpected coffee stop, we thought that we had a pretty good idea of what this tour was about. We were wrong. From here, we started climbing. And what followed was one surprise after another. We didn't really know where we were going. But with every step, Comuna 13 just kept revealing itself. And then, out of nowhere, we walked straight into this. The energy here is unreal. A few steps later, another surprise. We got to try these buñuelos, a local Colombian snack. They were crispy on the outside, soft and gooey on the inside, and surprisingly cheesy or chocolatey, depending on the flavor you decided on. From a foreigner and Canadian's perspective, they look like donuts, but they're not overly sweet at all. It's really all about the crispy bite and wholesome goodness.
Good? Muchas gracias. Yeah.
Then we got a close-up at all the graffiti. Natalia explained that these murals are constantly changing. Artists come in, leave their mark for a time, and then it evolves over and over again. What I recall from Natalia is that these designs will stay here for roughly 1 year, untouched. After the year passes, new artists come in and share their perspective. It's kind of like the walls are alive here. And just when we thought we couldn't top these experiences, we found escalators. Outside? What? The last time I took an escalator was inside a shopping mall, not in the middle of a community built in a mountainside. This is too much. Oh, and not one escalator, not two, not three. It was like 4 or 5 of them. At this point, you can understand that as we kept going, the streets just got more alive. Shops and street food and music. You can literally find everything here. Even things like hormigas culonas, which are roasted ants. After climbing and escalating our way up, we got to a point where the city started opening up. And suddenly, you're looking all over Medellin. Transformation isn't all physical, it's also emotional and symbolic too. From the ground up to seeing everything from above. As we got higher, we started noticing landmarks at the top, like this Christ statue, reminiscent of the one in Rio de Janeiro. Here it's a symbol of protection, hope, and everything this place has been through. And then right above, something completely different. The giant hand, which I talked about in a previous video as El Mano del Gigante. This one feels more like a symbol of reaching up and seeing things from a new perspective. And we also noticed statues like this one, with the bandana, which felt like a symbol of the neighborhood's past. And just when we thought we climbed all the stairs possible, there was still another flight, and another flight. But then trust me on this one, we're at the very top. And we reach one of the most iconic spots, right in front of the giant hand. Since it symbolizes reaching up and seeing things from a new perspective, I decided to jump on there as though it was a dance floor. No judgments on my dancing here. But seriously, when you're having a great time, why not express it? Now with a sense of accomplishment, after the climb, the energy, and the surprises, we sat down with a cold drink, overlooking the city. The cold drink of your choice or beer was included with the tour. Ellie and I cheers to people who just a few hours ago were complete strangers. I think it hit me at this stage of the tour. It's not just any tour, it's an experience. More like a life adventure that I'll remember for the rest of my life. As we started making our way back down, I realized that this was a journey through a place that completely transformed itself. I originally saw this tour as a picture of graffiti on the wall. But as the saying goes, a picture says 1,000 words. Roughly the same amount of words as expressed in this video. Yet the whole experience left me speechless. We met people from all over the world. A solo traveler from Germany starting a year-long adventure. A teenager from England taking time to discover the world. A couple from South Africa sailing across continents. And for a few short hours, we were all part of this same story. We started as strangers, and we left with a shared moment, laughs, and memories. From the dancers, to the artists, to the people who call this place home. You can really feel the resilience here. And I think what made this experience so special was simply to be open to it. Going with the flow, being spontaneous, not really knowing what to expect, but just letting everything unfold. Because sometimes that's when the best experiences happen. This is something that we'll remember for a long time. And we're just really happy that we got to share it with you. And if you ever find yourselves in Medellin, this is something you have to experience for yourselves. What an experience! Comuna 13 walking tour completely exceeded our expectations. From the history, to the art, and the great people that we met along the way. This was way more than just a walking tour. It really gave us a different perspective on Medellin. And honestly, if you're coming to this city, then you have to do this walking tour. Granted, you can walk all the stairs that we showed in the video, and so much more. And hey, if you enjoyed coming along for the day, then go ahead and give us a like. It really helps us out. Also, feel free to comment. We're curious to know, which was your favorite part in the video today? Also, be sure to subscribe because we have more on Colombia that we want to show you. Next is Guatapé, one of the most colorful cities in the world. Looking forward to seeing you in that one. Ciao, Discoverers!